Hey there everyone, and welcome to Corey Loses, where today we're going to have our first kind of channel update in a while. We're going to be talking about 2017 in review, we're going to be talking about what's coming up in 2018, and I was hoping to do this as an actual video, but my camera sucks, essentially. I'm looking into getting an actual camera, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So instead, you're going to have to look at, I guess, charts and stuff, and I'll try to throw up some pictures that you may not have seen before for some TR stuff. But anyways, we'll start by talking about 2017. So it was a huge year for the channel. We started with, I did the 1,000 subscriber video on, I want to say early December. We hit 1,000 subscribers last year, or in 2016. So we finished out the year with just over 7,100 subscribers, I believe. So I want to thank all of you for all your support in the last year. Welcome everyone who is new to the channel, and for anyone who's still with us from the early days, glad you stuck around. Hope you are still enjoying the content. I'm doing my best to make sure that we're always trying to improve the content we put out with both what I'm doing with the channel and also with the mods. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that to come up with, but I really do want to just thank all of you for all the support, for subscribing, watching the videos, especially the patrons, Twitch subscribers now as well. Just anyone who watches and enjoys the content, thank you so much. They make this job possible for me. And on that note, I do want to say that because of how the channel has grown in the last year and how it grew in 2017 as a whole, I will be able to do this full time now. So I'm effectively, for the last year, I have been doing it essentially full time while I was down here. I went back to stay with my parents after my mom's diagnosis, so I really had nothing else to focus on but working on the channel and trying to make it grow as much as I could. But we are at a point where, even independent of that, I'm going to be able to focus on this full time if it keeps growing in anything like the way that it has been, and continue to put all my efforts into that. So one of the things I'm doing to that end is I'm trying to work a bit more on my time management skills. So in the past, a lot of it's just been like, what do I feel like working on now? Do I want to do channel stuff, mod stuff, whatever, and do whatever works for that? And that's part of why the stream schedule was so inconsistent and almost non-existent last year. So when I went to Scotland in November, in the month leading up to that, I planned out all the videos I wanted to do. I planned out all the mod work I wanted to get done. And I had it was the most efficient that I've ever really worked. So I want to try to make that a normal thing here, which should mean that you guys see more regular and consistent, better video schedules, like stuff like the Warhammer videos and the Pokemon Reborn. It's been super inconsistent. I want to fix that. We're going to talk a little bit about the actual content in a second here. But one of the things that I've been trying to do is upgrade the equipment we've been using to record the videos. So I used to use a much worse processor. I've upgraded my processor, which is helpful, and sometime this week I'm getting a new microphone in. What I have right now is a Blue Snowball, the cheaper kind. So it's not fantastic, there's no pop filter, it picks up all of my background noise from my computer, and just the mic quality isn't great to start with. And I feel like the audio quality on the channel is one of the main places that I could make an easy improvement with just an upgrade to the equipment. So I did order a new mic, a much better one, so that should be coming around Thursday, I think is the delivery date. And so any videos after that will hopefully have much better audio quality. Like, I know a lot of people, if you were listening with headphones before, I've fixed it a little bit, but whenever I'd stop speaking, you'd hear a little bit of white noise, and it was super annoying. I couldn't watch the videos with headphones on, and I'm sure that was the case for a lot of people. So that's something that I'm really working on fixing, and that should be resolved as of Thursday. But at some point in the upcoming year, I would also like to get a better video card, which will make rendering videos faster, will improve the actual quality of the videos when I'm playing the games, so I can get better footage to render. But that should all be good. We did the upgrades on some of the channel art. I'm not a very good graphic artist, but I'm trying to do at least incremental upgrades to that, the same way we would do with the mod stuff. So the icon now, I like it a lot better than the previous one. The channel art, the blue stuff, it's a bit more simple, but I feel like it does look at least better than it did. And I'm going to, as I get better at this stuff, I'm going to keep trying to improve that art as well, but we should be staying within the same style at least for quite some time. But yeah, so I will be focusing on this full time, which means that a lot more stuff can get done with the videos, especially if I have stuff planned out properly like I want to. A lot more stuff is going to be done with the mods, even just the time that I don't have to spend commuting to a job that is not at my desk. That used to be like 2 hours of my day when I worked at McDonald's, or it was like an hour and a half of my, or even longer when I worked at StatsCan too, because I'd be going all the way downtown. But now I just get up, I go work on the computer, and those 2.5 hours are all time that I can spend on mod stuff now. So a lot more has gotten done while I've been able to do that, and now that I'll be able to schedule my time around that and not have to like go deal with other stuff, that's even more time that I can dedicate to working on the mod, working on the channel. So yeah, in terms of content though, I do want to make some changes to the actual videos we post and the schedule for videos, and also streaming. So streaming is something that I want to make a lot more consistent this year. We've already started in the last month since we moved to Twitch for that. In the future, I might try to loop YouTube back in for some of that stuff, but for now we are going to stay exclusively on Twitch. There's better video latency. I know some people were having trouble at some different points. I know Josh mentioned this in the comments, that it's, for some people the app wasn't working or the Twitch video doesn't play. So hopefully that'll be something that we can get resolved, or the Twitch platform can get resolved. But there's much lower latency. There's a lot more options for the actual streaming, and it's not ideal to have all your eggs in one basket. So having like all the videos, all the streams, and all that through YouTube wouldn't be fantastic. But I would like to get to a point where we can either do dual streaming, or if we can have like maybe one day a week we'll have a YouTube stream for the people who can't or don't want to use Twitch. Because we're having 4 days a week of streaming right now. If in the future we start getting a bit more consistent with that, if I go up to 5, that would be a possibility. So we'll see how that develops, but the basic point is I want to do a lot more streaming in 2018. We're going to be turning Monday Night Modding into a regular series, so every Monday night at 5 p.m. EST, I'm going to go live working on Thrawn's Revenge stuff, or if I pick up any other projects, then I'll be working on that. But in terms of the actual video content, the Monday Night Modding is, I guess, a good segue into the Modding 101 series. I don't think we did a single video on that this year, and that is something that I want to bring back, because a lot of people have been asking for that kind of thing. It's a bit more niche, but it's something that I feel like that I can do that a lot of other channels can't do, so there's not really many other people that can pick up that slack if I don't do it, especially related to EAW. So I'd like to do that a lot more regularly. Well, obviously more regularly than never would be very easy, but if I can do maybe a video on that every other week, a different kind of tutorial or something else. I don't think I'm going to be pushing the Monday Night Modding streams to YouTube. I might do it once in a while depending on what we worked on, but like we did one yesterday night, which I'm probably going to be putting up this week on YouTube. So a lot of the Twitch streams won't be making their way to YouTube as VODs. It'll depend on what we're doing. Like community matches probably won't be coming over to the channel as VODs. The Monday Night Modding, it'll depend on what we're doing. But any kind of like Let's Play that we're doing, or playthrough, Pokemon Reborn, when we do the Republic at War stream that we've been doing for that LP, when we do the Imperial Civil War playthroughs on part of the stream, all that kind of stuff will always make it back to the channel. But in terms of the video schedule, I do want to work a bit more on the diversity here. So instead of being as heavily EAW, I don't want to remove any of the EAW content we're doing. I just want to add other stuff into the mix as well. So the way I try to think of it is I want to do 2 to maybe 3 videos a day. And obviously that's not with the expectation that everyone's going to watch everything, so that there's always something for everyone, and then it helps build up a broader back catalog for anyone new to the channel that wants to watch through series. So I'm going to be trying to get through series a bit more quickly as well. So in general, we'll try to have 2 main series on the channel, one 4 days a week, one 3 days a week. Right now that's Republic at War and Thrawn and the Imperial Civil War preview playthroughs. So we'll generally be doing that in Empire at War stuff, and sometimes it'll be maybe Ascendancy, sometimes it'll be another game. If it, like the Battlefront 2 campaign we did through, I was usually counting that as one of the quote-unquote primary series. And then we'll also try to have 1 or 2 secondary series. So right now, for example, the 2 primary, we have a Republic at War and Imperial Civil War, and we have Pokemon Reborn and Warhammer as our secondary series. I know for a lot of people, they only know about the channel or myself through the Thrawn's Revenge stuff, and they're mostly interested or exclusively interested in like the Thrawn's Revenge videos or Republic at War or AOTR when we do that, and that kind of stuff, and that's perfectly fine. But the secondary series tend to be the games that I'm playing through because it's a game that I wanted to play through. I feel like recording it, anything like that. And so yeah, we'll try to have 2 of those going on at the same time, and then we'll alternate days for those. So a lot of people may not be interested in seeing that, so all the EAW content is still going to be there for anyone who is just interested in that. And then anyone who wants to check out maybe some other videos or some other games that I enjoy, or just wants to see me fail in a different environment for once, those videos will be coming out as well. So another thing I want to do kind of in that vein is have more videos that are kind of one-off. So something that doesn't necessarily need a whole series. They Are Billions is a good example of that, where we did a couple games of that. You can watch just one video and then you're done. You don't have to worry about the whole commitment for the series. And there's a few games that are really good for that. There's stuff like Homeworld 2 we could do. There's Zero AD that I kind of want to try out. I have a bunch of games listed somewhere that I would like to play for the channel. Some are more one-off like that. Some we have some potential for longer series. Like I really want to go back and do Nehrim, or Enderal at Fate's Ed, or is it Nehrim at Fate's Ed? Anyways, there's the Skyrim conversion mod that changes the whole story. We started playing it early on, if not last year, then it might even have been 2016, but I wasn't able to get through it because my computer wasn't really good enough to record that at any decent quality. But now that we've done the upgrades to my computer, that's another game we can get back into. There's Fallout 3. Someone actually bought me Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. We can try to go through a lot of those. Mass Effect. There's The Witcher 3 that I have. I want to do like Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast. Like, there's a ton of stuff that I really want to get into, and that's all stuff that would fit in sort of that whole secondary video thing. And then I also want to do some more regular channel updates for anything important that happens. But that's most of my ideas for changing the schedule. So just to, I guess, sum that up, I want to have a bit more diverse videos coming out, not in any way impacting the amount of Empire at War we're doing, but to other stuff as sort of like supplemental for Empire at War or Sins, so that we've got a bit more other stuff going on in the channel. And that's also good for me to like play some of the games that I've been putting off playing for so long, because then I can feel like I'm getting something done while I'm doing it. So yeah, we've talked about streaming schedule, we've talked about the video diversity, increase in Modding 101 videos. I am getting a camera, as I said earlier on, so maybe some Let's Plays that'll have face cam, or if I do these vlog videos, it'll be actual video. I don't think it'll be a super common thing, because I hate cameras, but it'll be at least present. We've done one video like that when I came back from Ottawa a couple months ago, but it'll potentially be something else we do a few more times. And the last thing in that sort of area is with Patreon and the patron rewards. So a huge part of what keeps the channel afloat, what allows me to pay my bills, what allows me the opportunity to go back and at least get my own place again now and do this full time, is the support from the patrons. So they really make up for a lot of the stuff like volatility in YouTube ad revenue, and there's a ton of people who have been just super generous with what they're giving to the channel, and I want to make sure that I'm able to make that worth it for people. So people who are already supporters, or anyone who's considering being a supporter on Patreon, like the Patreon page as well as the Twitch page, there's links to all that stuff in the description in every video. So if anyone is interested in doing that, becoming a Twitch subscriber, following on Twitch for the live streams, or joining up on Patreon, those links are all down there. But right now, people have responded pretty positively to the ship names we've been doing in the Empire War and the Thrawn's Revenge playthroughs. So that's something I'm definitely going to be continuing into the new year. I'm also going to be giving the option for like customizing fighter loadouts on those ships, but I'm trying to think of stuff beyond just that. I was thinking potentially like adding stuff into the credits of videos or something for the patrons for that month. But that's something I'd have to run past the patrons to see what they want to be identified as, because there's a lot of people that I'm sure wouldn't want their name put anywhere, or even an alias put anywhere. So that'd be something that I have to post and run past them first. But so that's one thing that I'm thinking of doing. Unfortunately, I know what a lot of people would want is like early access to the mods via Patreon rewards, but there's a few problems with that. The first thing is that the channel, well, we do a lot of like cross promotion with it. Thrawn's Revenge isn't really technically part of Corey Loses, and vice versa, because while I am the lead developer of Thrawn's Revenge, it's not all me. And the team has been like incredibly supportive of everything that I've been doing with the channel, and I wouldn't want to take advantage of them in that way. So I can't really do anything that's like directly tied into Thrawn's Revenge. I do owe all of the dev team a pizza at some point. I promised them that when we first released 1.0, I said I'd give all the devs a pizza. Anyways. But the other thing is that it would essentially classify as selling the mod, which is 100% illegal. So even if you're saying like, oh, if you're at this tier, you can get beta access, that is illegal. And there are mods that do that. They shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be connecting the mod to the Patreon thing in any sort of way. So there's a lot of people that get away with it for a while or get away with it indefinitely, but I'm not willing to cross that line. I don't want to jeopardize anything with the mod or the channel getting shut down. So it's just better and safer to not do that. Yeah. Really, the testing, it's not really just about getting to play early, so it's not always necessarily a reward to get that. It's like the whole thing with early access games in general on Steam. If you're paying for access to it, realistically, by the time we're at a point where we'd even want to qualify for something like you would think of as early access, that's generally when we're in open beta anyways. So it just feels like even if there were no other issues with it, it would be kind of scuzzy to charge people for that. I wouldn't want to do that. So anyways, that basically covers all that. I am looking into different ways to do that. If anyone has any suggestions for additional Patreon rewards, I would love to hear it. I'll do whatever I can to implement them where possible. But that's most of the stuff for the channel so far. Schedule updates, equipment upgrades, Patreon stuff. So I'll talk about the mods for a little bit here. First off, I and the rest of the developers really want to thank all of you who voted for us in Mod of the Year. We had a great showing this year. For the last few years, really. So this year we got second place. I'm pretty sure it was second place Player's Choice with Ascendancy for the release category, and then Fall of the Republic got third place unreleased Player's Choice. Imperial Civil War got an honorable mention because last year Imperial Civil War got fourth place, so Imperial Civil War would have needed to get third in order to place, which Fall of the Republic got instead. So we want to thank everyone so much for all their support in that. We hope that our work in the upcoming year, we want to have a release in all three of the mods, so ideally we'll have a new version of Ascendancy, Imperial Civil War, and Fall of the Republic coming out for you this year, at least one. So we hope we justify your support with that. We really hope you look forward to playing that and that you enjoy it when it does come out. We're all very happy with the progress we're making, the direction we're going in with the mods, and we hope we can live up to those expectations. And we're doing our best to make sure that we do. One of the things that I think is really good about what we're doing with the channel here is giving a lot of access and showing exactly how the development's going, which makes it a bit harder to have false expectations. One of the bigger things that mods need to worry about and games need to worry about is managing expectations so that any hype that's built up is realistic and based on what's actually in the game, and you don't end up with that game, which we won't mention, a situation like that. But we do feel confident in what we're putting out with 2.2. And we're going to look to continue to improve on that with future versions. So we're really looking for, as much as you guys, we know you guys want us to give a release date or want to get the mod out. Trust us, we want it out just as much, if not more, because it kills us a little bit inside that people are playing 2.1. When I do the community matches in 2.15, then I look at all the old stuff we've done, especially the Lucrehulk. I just won't even build Lucrehulks in 2.15. But yeah, so that's all coming out. 2.2, we should even have a release date announced soon. We're getting very close with that. We're getting a lot of the final infrastructure stuff in, and at that point it's just like arranging content, which is a much simpler, more straightforward thing than trying to work in the actual systems. So we'll have more updates on that. We're going to have specific news posts for each of the three mods. So we won't go too much into detail on any of that anymore here. This video is already quite long. So just once again, I want to thank you all for all of your support in 2017, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that 2018 is way better than 2017 was for the channel and the mods. So once again, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you are enjoying the content, please do so. Hope you guys stick around and enjoy the content that we plan to put out in 2018. If you want to get the notifications when I go live on Twitch, there's a link in the description and you can follow there. But yeah, that I think is going to be it. See you next time, everyone.